Hey there, welcome to a brand new episode of Muzikxpress. My name is Twan, and in this week's vlog you will see my interview with Cold Blue about his tracks 7 Ways and 11 Days. But before we start with the interview, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, and very important, also make sure to click the bell button, because then you will get a notification the next time a new vlog is online. And if you enjoy my interviews and you want to support Muzikxpress, you can do that via one of the links in the video description. Every donation is very much appreciated. Alright, here it is, the story behind 7 Ways and 11 Days, my interview with Cold Blue. Enjoy! Cold Blue is a DJ and producer from Germany who is mostly known for his emotional and melodic trance tracks. During the years he had releases on labels such as Anjunabeats, Monster Tunes, High Contrast, FSOE, Subculture, Black Hole, and of course via his own label, Cold Blue Records. For this week's vlog I sat down with Cold Blue to ask him about the story behind the Cold Blue and Del Mar release 7 Ways and 11 Days, which came out back in the year 2007 via In Trance We Trust. And of course we also spoke about the brand new Cold Blue artist album Mountain, which came out in November 2025. My first question to him was how old he was when he started to listen to music.
Probably already when I was in the, how do you call it?
In the belly. In the womb.
Belly, in the womb of my mom. There was always music in our life, in my family. And we also had a piano and all these instruments. So my parents played music, live music in the house, not on stage. And they also played music on cassettes and radio. So I don't remember, no. I was a baby.
Yeah. And what kind of bands do you remember that you did listen to maybe a bit older?
I remembered my parents, they listened to the Beatles and all these popular bands. Nothing that special, more like the very famous names.
Yes, yeah.
Like Queen. I still love Queen very much, for example. When I got older, I listened to rock and metal, like Metallica, and then more complicated stuff like Tool, like the nerdy bands.
Yeah.
And also on the TV there was trance and electronic music, so I had these two parts inside of me, the two musicians, the two fans, rock and electronic.
Yeah, like you said, you mentioned trance, like do you remember some of the artists that were like popular back then?
Yeah, in Germany it was Plank and Jones, they were on the TV a lot, but I especially remember when I saw Ferry's Adagio for Strings version on the TV with the tree, the video, you know it probably. That really influenced me a lot as a musician. It did something to me, and that was the real trance that I was looking for.
Yeah, that was like in 1999. Was it also the time when you started like making music yourself?
Yeah, roundabout when we got the first computer in the house, then I started with video games obviously, but at some point I wanted to be more productive, not just finish the game and then what's now. And then I discovered all the production software, and it was great to get creative.
Which software did you use back then?
We had, it was me and a friend, and we shared a lot of software. We tried everything, but I very quickly got into Reason, which I still use until today.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So it's more than 20 years of me using Reason now, and I still love it.
Yeah,
it's great.
So do you recall your very first ever release?
Yeah, it's called One, if I remember correctly. And it was in 2005, so it's 20 years ago now, which is crazy. Even before that, I had probably 5 to 8 years of production experience, but I was still a beginner and not very good, I think. But the first release was 2005 on a not very popular label, online digital label. And it was only one release in 2005, then the next one came in 2006, and then I eventually joined Schuh Music by Pedro Del Mar and Roger Schuh, and that's how the story began, slowly.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a bit. So the first release, that was already Cold Blue?
Yes. Oh no, the very first release was under name Killing Hand.
Oh.
You can find that on Discogs also. And that was like a competition of a platform called Uptracks. It was in collaboration with Sunshine Live, a German radio station. And I won that competition where the release, or where you could win to have an official release on a record label. It was even on vinyl. So I had my first vinyl, and it was in 2005 as well, I think. Maybe 2004, but I think 2005.
Ah, nice. So this year is like 20 years of Cold Brew.
Yes.
Oh, so and you celebrated it like with a brand new album?
Yeah, I thought it would be nice to bring out an album, yeah.
Good time. Yeah, we're going to talk about that like later in this interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for this walk, we're going to talk about 11 Days, a track you did together with Pedro Del Mar under your alias Cold Blue. So first things first, do you remember how and where you got to meet Pedro?
Yeah, I remember that I listened to their radio show Melomania a lot. It was a source of inspiration for me. They always played new trance. They were great. So I kept sending them demos for the labels, for their label. And eventually they replied. Eventually they signed one track, and then we got in touch. So it was all online. We messaged a lot on MSN, like this online chat platform. And I don't know when we met for the first time. It was at some event that they hosted.
Yeah.
Maybe we even didn't meet before that track got released, 7 Ways, 11 Days. I don't remember anymore. So it was all online back then already. Yeah. Nowadays everything is online.
Exactly.
But even 2007 it was a lot going on online.
You already told me that you made 7 Ways, which was the A side of the vinyl first. So how old were you when you made 7 Ways and 11 Days?
I think I made it in 2006. So I was 21 and I just finished school. I finished the social service, which is what you do instead of going to the army. And it was right before the studies. So there was a period when a new phase in life started. And I think 7 Ways it has a lot of mysterious parts. It's not so super happy. It's more, just telling a serious story of ups and downs, like a lot of my music actually. But it was like the darker brother of 11 Days, which is the more popular tune. Yeah, I think
that's funny because that's the B side.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So were you inspired by any other artists or tracks when you started to work on 7 Ways?
I remember that I listened a lot to Airbase back in those days. I still love these tracks. Sometimes I turn on some old set of Airbase and I got inspired again. He was so creative. So many melodies and layers and so funky and just great stuff. And I think 7 Ways has a lot of those inspirations in it. The style, the sounds were created and the melodies and just different elements combined. Yeah.
So what do you still remember from the production process of 7 Ways?
Not so much. I think it took me quite a long time. I think I started with the groove, which is not the super standard uplifting groove it had. I think 2006 was a time where a lot of progressive came up, where people started to experiment more with new sounds and new kind of grooves and bass lines, and it sounded very fresh at that time, and I enjoyed those new directions and I tried to put them into the music. So on the one side, a lot of melodies, but also a lot of creative new sounds.
Yeah.
And that's probably the character of 7 Ways.
Yeah. So what was the most difficult part of the production?
I think bringing it all together, like all the different... There are also different parts. It's not just different sounds playing at the same time, but also different sections, one after the other, and trying to bring it all together so that it makes sense in the end. Yeah. I think that was the tricky part.
Yeah. So how long did it take you to finish 7 Ways?
It was months for sure, but I can't tell if it was half a year or maybe 3 months.
Yeah.
And I think I sent it to Pedro at some point, and that's where he got involved because he helped me to fine tune it in the end, and he had some cool ideas of how to really bring it to the point. And then he also suggested to send it to Black Hole.
Yeah, I think he was already in touch with Black Hole.
Yeah, because they did a lot of Rogers music on Black Hole. And it was a door open for me. Yeah. Really, really nice and easy going.
Ah, nice. So is there also a story behind the title, 7 Ways?
No, I don't think there's a story.
How do you come up with the title?
Maybe it was a working title. I actually don't know anymore, to be honest. I know the story of 11 Days, but maybe because it rhymes with 11 Days. I have no idea. It's too long ago.
Yeah. So once 7 Ways was finished, did you start working on 11 Days straight away?
Almost. There was a really nice holiday, a vacation that I went on with friends. We were a group of 5 people, and we all, like I said, we finished school. We were just starting to get into this adult life or this in-between life where you start to study. And I moved in a city from a very small village before, and it was all new and really exciting, and we all were in that mood, and we went on a vacation, and it was so nice. And the vacation lasted 11 days, so the vacation was 11 days long. And I think at that time I said it was the best 11 days of my life. It was so exciting. I felt so free. It was in Turkey, just great weather, great people.
Yeah.
And I got home and straight away worked on 11 Days, and I think I can hear it in the music now that it is the bright, the happy, the positive brother of 7 Ways. Maybe in 7 Ways I didn't know where my life will go. It was at the time where I had to make decisions at the time where I also had to quit some other things that maybe weren't easy to quit. So it was a lot of difficult stuff also. And then after this vacation, everything was clear. And then boom, 11 Days came very quickly. Yeah. You might want to ask me how long it took me to make it.
Yeah, I thought the title was 11 Days because it took you 11 days to finish.
I think it was even shorter because everything came just in a flow, and I used the sound set of 7 Ways for it. I think it's noticeable if we listen to the tracks. And when you have all the elements already there, it's sometimes very easy to make music.
Yeah.
It's like cooking a dish and everything's already prepared. You only have to put it in the pan and stir. Yeah. And so it was just coming up with the melodies, putting a nice story to it, and yeah, I was very euphoric.
Were also like other artists or other tracks that inspired you a bit, or was it just like, bomb, here's the melody and here we go?
Yeah, I think back in the days there was Very Coast and Beautiful and 2 or 3 other releases that had a similar kind of melody where it just goes down the notes. I don't know how you call it in English, but it's very characteristic, and I really loved it, and it has some kind of euphoric feel in all these tracks. So I wanted to do it too. I did it. It worked.
Yeah, I think I already know the answer to the next question. I have like written down here. Was 11 Days an easier track to make compared to 7 Ways?
Yes, it was. Yeah, I think in general, if I feel more relaxed and if everything is clear in my mind, in my system, then the creative channel is open and ideas flow, and it's quite straightforward.
Yeah. And so both tracks came out in February 2007 via In Trance We Trust, a sub-label of Black Hole Recordings. you already told that Pedro helped you to find a label. So
Yep.
did they say straight away like, okay, yes, we want to release this, or did they ask you like to change something, or?
I think no changes.
Yeah.
I think they took the tracks as they were, but what we didn't know was that it will be on In Trance We Trust, and that was the greatest part of it. And the vinyl, of course, now is the big thing, because people love this artwork. I really love this artwork, and I think it's one of the last vinyls on In Trance We Trust.
Yeah, I think after this they kind of maybe a few more, but that's it.
Yeah. And I also think it's one of the few black hole labels that did these great artworks, like that actually had art on the artwork and not just the brand, the logo.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a big thing for us.
Yeah.
Back then.
So who decided what like that 7 days would be the A side and 7 ways would be the A side and 11 days would be the B side, or?
I think that was Black Hole.
Yeah.
But or maybe us. I don't know. I don't remember.
And it's funny because like 11 days.
Yeah.
That's like the main track.
Yeah, maybe because Tiesto picked it up.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just goes the way that it goes in life.
Yeah.
We couldn't calculate that.
Yeah. So a few months after the vinyl release, 11 Days got remixed by Sebastian Brand. Who came up with the idea to ask him to do a remix, or was this like suggested by the label?
No, he came up with it. Sebastian, I think he just did it. It's more like a bootleg where you just take the finished track and you put something on top. That's what he did. He changed a bit of the drums. I mean, he put them on top and it works. That's the great thing in music. And he added a melody on top, which is the icing on the cake, the part that everybody loves now. He did a really great job on that, and I think he just did it for his sets. So he didn't have the plan to release it or to have an official remix, but obviously we all do some kind of things like these, and if it gets released, we are all happy. So I don't know who came up with the plan to release it. Maybe he asked, but it was just a clear decision because everybody loved this version.
Yeah, everybody's like playing it, like Tiesto really did play the remix a lot in the sets, and you can even find it on the Elements of Life DVD. So do you remember how you guys found out that he was going to put it on the DVD?
No. I think we found it out with the official release of the DVD.
Oh, really?
But I'm not sure anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe Black Hole told us earlier.
Yeah. And you were like, okay, fine.
Okay, yeah.
If you no problem. Yeah. So besides Tiesto, also Armin van Buuren, Above and Beyond, Ali and Fila, Mark Sherry, Agnelli and Nelson, and many others did play the remix. So did you expect the track to become so big?
Not at all. No. Of course.
You were probably already happy that they wanted to release it,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what is your favorite memory when it comes to the release of 7 Ways and 11 Days?
Yeah, of course, all the feedback, but also watching these live videos from Tiesto. There were some fan videos on YouTube where just crowd videos, very shaky, but they had the energy where you could feel what it does to people.
Yeah,
the music. That I think that's still the best memory because that's so rewarding for me as an artist to see the music reaches to the people.
Yeah.
It gets listened to. It gets a reaction. So there's communication happening.
Yeah.
That's a great part. And yeah, it was, I think, maybe the first time that I saw a live video of my music being played on a big event.
Did you ever see Tiesto play like live yourself?
No, unfortunately, no.
I mean, it can happen because he's playing trance again. So yeah, hey Thijs, if you're watching this. So in November 2025, you did release your third artist album, Mountain, on Black Hole Recordings. How have the reactions been on the album so far?
Really, really good. Yeah, I'm very happy. It's probably not an easy album to listen to, I would say. It's a long journey and it's very intense. It's not just a compilation of hits or easy melodies, but it goes very deep. And I read a lot of comments that people feel the journey, and that makes me very happy.
Yeah. Your previous album, Summer Chills, came out in July 2020. So why did it take you so long to release like a new album?
Because I really wanted I wanted it to be better than my previous albums. Obviously, we all want that, to get on the next level. But also, I started Cold Blue Records, my own record label, in the meantime. So a lot of releases came out there that maybe would have landed on the album. I think the hardest part was to come up with a story that really feels true, not just made up, but something that comes from the inside, from my life, that went into the music. And also for Winter, it took me quite a long time to realize what kind of story am I telling, what kind of journey is this music about.
Yeah, so that's my next question. Like, when you had the idea for the new album, so did you already have like a specific concept or story you wanted this album to express?
I think I had the album title Mountain in my mind for a long time. And in the last years of my life, there were quite a few mountains in my life, in the challenges that I had to take. And then I thought, okay, let's call it Mountain, but it's not about the nature mountain. Maybe also because I love mountains. But it's really about the challenges in life that we have to deal with. And then when that was clear, I started to collect music from the work in progress titles that I have, just starting a whole folder of unreleased tracks and play around like a puzzle. How does it make sense? Where do I want to express what? And that took a long time also.
Yeah.
And
yeah. So good work needs time, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So what influences, like musical or otherwise, played a role in shaping this album?
Mostly, I think, relationship in life, like love relationships, that maybe for many of us is the biggest challenge to deal with in life, to make those work or to stop them if they are not good for us. For me, this has always been mountains to climb, to make decisions in that part of life. But also I was involved in a construction, in house building, which is crazy whenever you do it. It was the first time for me, and it felt like a really big mountain. It took 2 years approximately. So these two things, and there are a few more tinier things that also felt like small hills, that they were quite challenging.
Yeah.
I think all of them were at some point the main topic for me for the album, and then in the end I realized, no, it's more like the principle, the how can I say this? Like the pattern of how to go through a challenge.
Yeah.
That's what I want to express with the album.
Yeah. So did you face any production challenges while making specific tracks?
Yeah, I'm sure there were a lot of challenges. There's one track called Escape, and it's also one of these more complex tracks, which have a lot of parts and sounds. And there's a euphoric section in the middle of it, and the parts around it are a bit more dark. But the middle section is the one where you get the energy, where you get the goosebumps. Mm-hmm. And it took me quite a long time to get the goosebumps part right, to make it so euphoric that it really stands out. And it was kind of last minute before I submitted the final version for the release to Black Hole, where I finally got it. I think it was just a pad, like you know what a pad is? Mm-hmm. That wasn't loud enough. But I didn't realize until last minute, oh, it's so easy. Just turn this one pad like 3 dB or maybe 5, and then everything was there.
Yeah, then it was right.
Yes,
yeah.
And before I knew the pad is in there, so that's all fine, but I didn't realize it's not loud enough.
Yeah.
So simple as that. Sometimes it's so easy to fix, but It took me months to find it out. And I tried so many different things. Why isn't this as energetic as it could?
Yeah. But I can also imagine, because you're working on the track for a long time. You probably heard it 1,000 times that, you sometimes don't even hear the changes anymore.
Yeah. And I tried to change the melody and bring in new melodies and experiment with rhythms and drums. And no, it was just
a few dBs up. Yeah. So how do you usually start when working on a new track? Do you come up with the melody first or something else?
Everyone is different.
Yeah.
Sometimes the melody, sometimes, like I said earlier, with 11 Days, there's the whole sound set already there, and I just want to make music, so I use the sound set and start, I think, melodies in that example. On the album, there's every example. Can be the rhythm in the beginning, can be a pad, can be a chord change.
Yeah. So it's always different.
Yeah.
So were there any tracks where you struggled with writer's block?
The thing is, if I feel writer's block, then I don't force myself to work.
Yeah, then you just go do something else.
Yeah, and in the last years, there were so many different projects in my life outside of music that when I'm sitting on music, everything is flowing because the time is limited and everything wants to come out. So I don't think I have had writer's block in 4 or 5 years.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So for the album, was there a deadline, or was it okay, when it's finished, I'll give it to the label?
Yeah, exactly. It was just in process, and Black Hole didn't know I was about to make an album. I sent it to them when it was finished.
Oh, I guess they were surprised.
Kind of.
Yeah. Oh, good. So were there any tracks that evolved dramatically from the first demo to the final version?
Ooh. I will pick up the vinyl, which I have right here.
Yeah, there's a beautiful vinyl which just came out.
And let me check for the track list. Yeah, maybe For a Miracle, the last one, which is a breakbeat track. I didn't really intend to put it on the album, and it was probably the last track that came onto the album, and it's the last track on the album, but that's coincidence. Because I showed it to my partner at one point, a very unfinished version, just a loop of the melody and the breakbeat. And she loved it so much that she said, wow, this is maybe the best I have heard from you. And for me, this was just playing around demo, like a breakbeat and a very happy melody, maybe too happy for a Cold Blue release. But she really influenced me with her opinion there.
Yeah.
And then I started to produce it, and I started to really feel it and to feel the beauty of it and to realize, okay, that's the grand final of the album. Yeah. That's the peak of happiness in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. Is there a track on Mountain that pushed your skills or creativity further than usual? And maybe the last one then.
The last one for sure, but in general, just I really enjoy creating journeys, and I recently realized when I make music or anything else, and which I want to be felt, which I want to transmit a message, it's very important that there's no distraction. And if there's something sticking out in the music which doesn't feel right, then that's a distraction from the message, from the feeling.
Yeah.
So for me, the challenge has been on this more than 1 hour journey to get rid of all the distractions which come up in the production process because something is not right yet. And that's been more a challenge this time than ever before, because maybe I more understood about this principle than ever before. And I really wanted to get it right, that it's like a smooth story from start to finish.
Do you think you're also more picky now? Because now you have more experience with producing, so maybe now you're a bit more picky, like...
Yeah, but also it became more easy because it's just intuition and feeling. The trick is to turn off my head and just feel. And then it's in a second, I know the answer, but then I have to find a solution, of course. Yeah. But the feeling is already there, saying, no, here's a distraction. Work on it.
Yeah.
And how to find the solution for it, that's maybe experience and technical skills that we have to practice.
Yeah. So what's the big difference when you compare Mountain to your previous albums, Winter and Summer Chills?
I would say it's more mature. It's a bit more serious even. But it follows the same principle. It's something like a hero's journey, that it has a story, that it has a very dark moment, a very challenging part, and then in the end, it's happy ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I won't ask you your favorite tracks of the Mountain album, but if you could only recommend 3 tracks to someone who doesn't know any of your Cold Blue tracks yet, which 3 tracks from Mountain should they listen to then?
I like this question because it's very unfair to ask for a favorite
for just one.
But this is a cool idea. If they listen to Cold Blue for the first time, maybe to Trance for the first time, I would suggest Radiate, the only vocal track on the album with Nicole Willerton, because it's just catchy and positive and maybe easy to digest. I would suggest Storm, which is very unique, not so uplifting trancey, but more melodic, but simple to the point. Yeah, and the third one, let's pick maybe White Lights. It's also one of the highlights of the album where the positivity comes out again, where hope comes up.
Yeah, I like that. So the album is out now, so it's like digital, but it's also on CD and also on vinyl.
Yes.
So if people want to buy, where can they find it?
On all my social media links, there is a connection to the release sources. There's Bandcamp for the vinyl and the Magic Music Store from Black Hole.
Yeah. So now that the album is finally released, do you feel relief or do you actually miss being deep in the creative process? Or maybe both?
Great question again. Both, of course. Very relieved, but also I feel a bit of pressure because I find it very hard to promote my music. It's easier to create it, but promoting it, and maybe there's not even the need to promote it because that's just the artist's ego that wants to promote it, and maybe we can just let it go and let it find their own way, the music. But also I think there's the idea that music wants to be listened to, and if you don't make sure that people listen to your music, then it's kind of pointless to make the music. Yeah. Because it's, like I said earlier, it's communication. Yeah. So I feel like the obligation to let people know there's the new album and to tell about it, to tell the story, to show it to people. And I feel I don't have enough time to do that.
So you've been to a State of Trance to promote your album.
Yeah, and I'm here.
And now you're
Thanks
here.
to you.
Yeah, tonight you're gonna do a show in Boxmeer op Legion. And then you're gonna do more like album related stuff, like in gigs or.
Then I think I would turn into winter sleep for 2 or 3 months, which is needed because I'm quite exhausted from all the album work and other things. So I'm looking forward to some very quiet time. And then the second part of your question, I think I will very quickly go into music production, into creativity again.
Yeah.
And there's no writer's block.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. I think. I think I asked you like off camera. Like, did you also have tracks that didn't make it to the album?
Yeah, for sure. There was, I think, a selection of 20 to 30 tracks that I considered for the album and tried to find out which combination is the most clear
story. Yeah, for the journey of the album.
Yeah.
So, but are these tracks finished? So will they like get a release on Cold Blue Records later, or?
I'm quite sure, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very rare that I don't finish a track. Sometimes it takes 10 years. Maybe that's one of the interesting stories. I think I told it on ASOT yesterday as well. One track, I think, took 15 years. I had an album in the making 2012 to 2014, I think, which I never released. But the track Into the Sun is from that time. But it evolved a lot since then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and all the tracks that didn't make it on this album will find their way to people's ears eventually.
Yeah, because I often when I speak to people, like to producers, they have like whatever folders with unfinished stuff.
Yeah.
So is that for you also the case? Because you said like, usually you finish a track?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I have a very funny rule now. When I open an unfinished track, I have to change something in order to bring it further. If I don't change something, I have to delete it.
Yeah, you can put the pad like 2 dB up.
I could, for example, I have to improve it in one thing or I have to delete it.
Yeah.
And that's very productive for me.
But I can imagine it must be difficult if you have like a track and you have to delete it.
Yeah, but it's very easy to change one thing, to improve one thing.
Yeah. So, you said you're going to do like a sort of a winter sleep, but are you already working on new music, or you just first going to like chill out?
Yeah, I prepared a new tracks for tonight's show in Boxmeer. Again, the thing where I just added a little bit of here and there just to improve it, but there's a lot of new music to be played.
Yeah, like in your sets, like do you play like the actual versions that are on the album, or is it like tracks that have like slight changes already for that maybe were better for your sets?
Yeah, I think a couple. Also for the intro track, I have a full version now that I'm going to play tonight.
Yeah,
we Are Made of Love.
Yeah, the intro's like the ambient one, right?
It starts ambient, but it goes into the full drop.
Yeah,
but I didn't have the intro part of it.
Yeah,
which is a very nice addition now, which I made 1 week ago.
Nice. So, is there still something on your bucket list music-wise, like working with a certain producer or maybe like a vocalist or something else?
No, I feel pretty done, to be honest. I will continue for sure.
Yeah.
Forever. My whole life. It's just my thing. But I'm quite happy how much I have reached already and how easy it goes nowadays. Yeah. It feels like it's really just my language and I can express whatever I want to express. Yeah. And I look forward to keep going.
Yeah, because you said like it's 20 years of Cold Blue now, and this is your third album, and there's still like a lot of ideas. So yeah. And the label. So is it only your own releases on Cold Blue Records?
Yeah, so far it is. Yeah. It was just a way to release my music.
Yeah. So do you plan on like signing music from other people, or?
There's no plan, but what I have done once and will do again is to collaborate with people.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes people send me demos that I really like, but I have a lot of ideas to make it more fitting to the album, to the label, and to my sets maybe, and then it turns out to be a collaboration.
Okay, so let's see what's going to happen in 2026.
Yeah.
And the last question, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No.
Not for you.
Not for me, thanks.
Well, thank you very much for your time and good luck with everything.
Thank you, Twan. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Alright, that was it. This week's vlog, the story behind 7 Ways and 11 Days, my interview with Cold Blue. Tobias, thanks a lot for your time. Much appreciated. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the vlog. If you did, make sure to give this video a like, leave a comment in the comment section below, and very important, make sure to subscribe. Also make sure to click the bell button, because then you will get a notification the next time a new vlog is online. Once again, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye bye.